our sails, we'd be all right. If the wind was in our sails, we'd be all right. If the wind was in our sails, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along.
Hello, Outsiders. We are here at Newbiggin Maritime Centre, and we're going to be doing lots of exploring today, aren't we, Hope?
We absolutely are, and we have our friend Sheila who's going to be showing us around the museum today.
Yes, it's going to be a very exciting day, Brightsiders. Oh, and speaking of which, I've just noticed a little seagull here, and his name is Bertie.
Bertie, well, we'll be looking out for more of those as we go around too.
Yeah, so make sure on our travels, guys, you can see as many seagulls as possible. So, Sheila, can you tell us what this fun and magnificent boat is?
Well, this boat is called the Mary Joyce, and it's called the Mary Joyce because a lady called Mary Joyce donated the money to the Lifeboat Association, to have the boat built.
Oh, I see. So, this is a lifeboat then?
This is a lifeboat. It goes out and rescue. Well, it used to go out to rescue people, so if people got in trouble at the sea.
Yeah.
The volunteers used to launch this big boat, go straight out, rescue people who were in the sea, the boat had wrecked, and bring them back home.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely massive boat, and it's just an incredible shape, and, you know, I can just see the engine from here as well, you know. So how many people would you be able to fit on this boat, roughly?
Well, it would take about 4 or 5 crew to drive it, and you would maybe get 3 or 4 people on the front, because this is where they used to lay the people who were injured or in trouble. So maybe 3 or 4 people would be able to.
Now, I'm assuming we used a different kind of lifeboat now, am I correct, Sheila?
Yes, that's correct, because this one is what we call an all-weather boat. This was the very last one we had.
Oh, it's the very last one?
Yes, and so therefore they're now replaced with an inflatable. And the reason they did that is because it's much quicker.
Yes.
This boat will go very slowly. So if you're in the sea wanting to be rescued, you want somebody to be there very quickly.
Absolutely, yes.
So therefore we bring now this inflatable, and this one travels at a much bigger speed than the Mary Joyce did.
I was going to say, because I've definitely seen a few of those when I've been to the beach, but I've never seen one of these out there before. I'm assuming it's because of the engines that what makes it go faster.
And it's very light.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a speedboat.
Right.
Like you see nowadays.
And does it still fit the same amount of crew and survivors as...
It doesn't take as many crew.
Okay.
But it would get 4 or 5 survivors onto the boat.
Amazing.
Yes. So it's much more efficient.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Sheila, this room in particular makes it clear that it wasn't all men who
No, I mean the women took a major part in the life of being in a fishing village. You see here we have women, they would go out and help pull the boat out in the mornings to go to sea. And while the fishermen were away, they would go round the streets selling the fish which they'd caught the day before. When they came back, they would go into what we called the gutting house, and you can see here the women used to gut the fish. That means taking their heads off, preparing them ready to sell. And then once they'd done that, they would have to cook the meals, look after the children, and then of course bake the lines ready for the next day.
And would I be right in thinking that women still have a prominent role in this day and age?
Yes, that the women, especially in the RNLI, will have what we call the Women's Guild. Now the women's job there is to raise money, they have cake stores, they bake cakes, they support the men. And all of the time in a fishing village, it's not only the fishermen, it's the fisher wives who are very important.
So Sheila, could you tell us a little bit about this boat here?
Oh, well, this boat is very special sort of boat. It's what we call a fishing coble. And the reason it's called a fishing coble is because this design, it's got a flat bottom. And the reason why it's got a flat bottom is because it has to be pulled off the sand. And to get it into the sea, many years ago, the women used to help pull this boat, and it used to be their husband's fishing boat, and pull it, and they used to pull it down onto the sea, and then when he came back fishing, all the women would go and pull it back. A bit like the lifeboat, because there wasn't any way of getting it into the sea. But eventually, when we got vehicles or motorised tractors, the women were replaced and the tractors started to pull the boats into the sea.
So it seems like women had a role in both the RNLI and the fishing boats.
Yes, because the fishing industry relied on the RNLI to save if they were in danger at sea. So you would find that fishermen were RNLI men, and sometimes the women, if the men were out fishing, would have to launch the boat to go and rescue them if they were in difficulties.
Arr! Look what I have found, guys, on the way around this place. This is the kind of thing that I love. This isn't really a pirate ship, don't worry, but it's just something that's really fun to just sit in, just have a chill time, and even do a little bit of fishing. I mean, I've caught quite a lot of fish around here, but like I said, it's not really a pirate ship. It's just something to have fun with while coming to this place. I mean, I just love this, guys, I really do.
So Sheila, next to us is a model of the boat with a secret. Could you tell us why that got its name?
Well, its name is the Robert and Susan lifeboat, but the model itself is got the secret because a woman in 1885 donated a lot of money to build a new lifeboat. There was some money left, so the RNLI made this model and gave it to the lady as a memento. She died shortly after, and this model disappeared. Nobody knew where it was. 100 years later, it was found in a church fair. Someone bought it, took it home, and realised it came from Newbiggin, so presented it back to Newbiggin. So this model has disappeared for 100 years. So we often think if it only could talk, it could tell us where it's been.
I'm sure it will.
So Sheila, can you tell us where we are right now then?
Well, this small area is what we call the tragedy and disaster area.
Oh, right.
Because obviously there was lots of bad things happening at sea, especially if you were out fishing. And if you look here, we can see that we've got a boat in trouble.
Yeah, I
Now,
can see that.
Those men need rescuing, so they would have to have the lifeboat. So what happened was there was a rocket sent into the sky, and it would go bang, and that is what we call a maroon. And all the lifeboat men in the village would hear it, and they would run down to the lifeboat station, pull the lifeboat out, and go and rescue the people who were in trouble.
Wow, I mean, it's a good thing they had that signal as well to just...
That's right, it was called a maroon, but of course nowadays they have mobile phones and they have pages, so we don't know. But in those days, the whole village used to hear the maroons going up, and they would come down and they would all come to the promenade or the sea edge and wait. And they would wait there until they came back safely.
Wow.
So I just want to say a massive thank you to Sheila from the Maritime Centre for showing us round. We had a fantastic time and learned a lot of valuable information. And while I was in Newbiggin, I bumped into an old friend of mine, Jill Young, who was very keen to tell me about the new project she's recently started. So I'm joined here by Jill Young, who is the founder of the Newbiggin Community Group. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Hiya. So basically the Newbiggin Community Group was set up in response to COVID. We just felt that the children of Newbiggin had missed out on so much, and we're really passionate about them and their families and wanted to provide some activities.
So what activity have you got going on at the minute, Jill?
So at the minute what we've got is the Newbiggin Trail. So we have hidden 9 letters across Newbiggin and we've given clues to where to find each letter. And once they've completed the trail, the letters then spell a word, and the word is Newbiggin.
Right.
So then the parents and the children email in to our group and they will receive a badge as a reward.
That sounds like a really good idea. So Jill, how many members have you got in the community group?
So I've got myself and then I've got 8 volunteers.
Okay.
And they all really have similar values and similar aims and we all wanted to do something for the children and for parents what to do. So it works really, really well. They're a fantastic group.
Sounds good. And community is just what the Brightsiders need at the minute. So as we were leaving the Maritime Centre, we walked along Newbiggin Promenade and came across the wonderful Sea Glass Eatery. So we popped in and said hello to the owner, Suzanne.
Oh, we'd be alright if the wind was in our sails. We'd be alright if the wind was in our sails. We'd be alright if the wind was in our sails. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll...
So today I'm joined by Suzanne, who is the owner of Sea Glass Eatery, which is a lovely spot on Newbiggin Promenade. So behind me, I'm noticing you have lots of beautiful jugs on your wall. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yes, a bit of a collector, hoarder. Love a good boot fair, jumble sale. I think I'm somebody that if I've got 2 of anything, I may as well be a collector. So there's got to be about 20 around the place. Yeah.
As I walked into this cafe, I immediately noticed you have a lot of personal things, such as the table plaques. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes, certainly. Well, the table plaques, the one I'm looking at is on a table which was given to me. I think that people are coming in here and they didn't have a table to sit at, and a lady who's got a B&B further along the promenade said, you know, would I take umbrage if she donated a table and chairs, hence the table and chairs, called Kathy's Table, because Kathy is the donator, and the wooden bits you're referring to is a customer. Michael, his wife Suzanne, would come and take breakfast every Sunday morning. And he would pinch a little bit of the sea glass and his wife would say, not for pinching. And he said, no, I've got a plan. And he brought me one. And then I wanted to commission him to give me, buy others, but he never ever took money. So there was Norma's table, my mum's table, the small table, the new table, big table.
Brianna's breezy table.
Brianna's table, yeah, breezy Louisy. Just a lovely gesture.
So who's this lovely lady behind us?
I have no idea. I'm told she's from Newbiggin. I'm humbled by the very earthy clothes she's wearing, her weathered face. She's delightful and I would love a name to her. I was given her by a little shop, sort of genealogy shop. I'd love a name for her.
So if anyone knows, if anyone's got any ideas who this lady is, give us a shout. So it seems like sustainability is something that you think is very important, and it seems present in the cafe a lot, the water, etc. So for all the children who might be watching, could you tell them why you think sustainability is so important to their generation in particular?
Oh my word, how long do we have? Kids, let me just flip that question from Hope round the other way. Whenever you're in Newbiggin, collect me shells from the beach, collect me sea glass, and I'll shout you something. I'm sure they're very edible and nice for you. It's all thought-provoking. It's all collecting shells, then gets me collecting litter. Then it gets me aware of, crikey, that's so much plastic I'm collecting. Let's be mindful of the plastic we're using. Which then got me on to making a little mini beast shelter. If I've got mini beasts, I don't like them, I have to say, but if they're grubbing around, you know, we're pollinating our flowers, we'll have the bumblebees and the butterflies. It's just all a good, safe place to be. My anticipated future.
And am I right in thinking the children are welcomed to have a look at the mini beasts?
Oh yes, absolutely. There is a little jam jar, but it's a plastic jam jar under the mini beast's home, and there's chalk there. And parents, you know, I welcome parents. The kids can come in, they can grub around, they can chalk on the patio, on the terrace. In the garden, which is open when we're able to be open, there's buckets and spades that I've found on the beach when I've litter picked, and they can take them away. And do you see how it's all sort of coming together?
Yes,
It's, you know, you don't buy a plastic bucket and spade,
Yeah.
I can give you one. And so on and so forth.
So as I was looking around the mini beach thing, I did actually notice the butterfly mural you have. What's the
Yes.
story with that?
Oh, gosh, do you know when I very first opened, which is just over a year now, this chap came by who walked every day, and he said, would I like a mural made by this young lady? He worked in an orphanage in Sunderland, and this girl had made this. I think she was 16 at the time. And anyway, so he'd bring it for me. There wasn't much sea glass in it. There was some sea coal and a little bit of artwork. I knew I needed to take it off the wooden back it was on, because that would rot. So I took the sea glass, I photographed it, took the shape, and then put it on perspex. And that's sort of a bit of a homage to this young lady.
Yeah. How did you get involved with the Pilgrim's Coffee?
The Pilgrim's Coffee, well, the eatery, I want everything to be as local as it can be, from an eco and a sustainable point of view. I mean, appreciated coffee doesn't grow in England, nor in Holy Island, where in fact this is roasted. But that was my intention, to have stuff as local as possible. I went to take a coffee in Newcastle. Beautiful coffee, beautiful, beautiful coffee. And I thought, oh gosh, where's that come from? Pilgrim's Coffee, Holy Island.
Yeah.
The one I sell is the Daily Bread. And contacted Andrew from Holy Island, and then I did a barista course up there with him, and have traded with him ever since.
Well, I've had a lovely time here at Sea Glass Eatery today. There's certainly some amazing sea views, so I definitely recommend everyone come for a visit. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Suzanne for inviting us in and for the amazing hot chocolate and coffee. I'm sure you should all pay a visit as soon as you can.